Hello, welcome everybody. Want to take a look at this video. It's concerning the Democrats' reaction to Hunter Biden's pardon. This is a video from the Supply Dude. Be able to take a look at his channel, see what he compiled here. Want to do a reaction to it. Let me know what you think.
He's going to get pardoned by his dad. There's no question about that.
The president has ruled out pardoning his son.
Hey everybody, very quick disclaimer. I'm sure you heard the news that President Joe Biden has officially pardoned his son, Hunter Biden. However, I have a bunch of clips where the media has always said Joe Biden would never do such a thing. From CNN to MSNBC, you guys are going to enjoy this because it's a lot. One thing I also want to say, make sure you guys are interacting with the video. You don't even have to subscribe, but YouTube will keep showing you all of these updated videos as I keep posting them every single day. We are in for the long haul. I appreciate all of you guys. We still have a lot of work to do, so enjoy.
Presidential promise to put the law before a family.
I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
Letting the world know that he will not wipe.
As we see, and I spoke about it earlier in another video about the same video, but I was looking to have some guests on. They weren't available, so I'm just gonna jump right into this again to finish this out. And I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit because in the first video I covered some stuff, but just give you a little background of what they have said and how smug and how self um, they I, the words escape me sometimes. They are so smug. They are so superior in ethics, and they're so superior in integrity, and they know everything. There's the know. They're like atheists to me, these Democrats. They know everything without knowing anything. So let's go right ahead.
Wipe away the decision of 12 of his son's peers.
Was asked directly, and he
So we saw this earlier. I want to skip ahead. Oh, joy. Let's go.
of our democracy. So there is an opportunity here for Biden to say, you know, the jury found him guilty. This is how it's supposed to work. Period, paragraph, end of.
But this is not how it worked. All right. And like I said, I skipped ahead because I already addressed some of the first part of this video. I want to get into the second part. So if what they're saying now or then shows that he did weaponize the DOJ and the FBI against Trump, that is more the reason we need Kash Patel in there, Hegseth in Department of Defense, and Tulsi, Tulsi, I can't think of the last name right now, but we need them in there to clean out the mess that the Democrats have allowed, and also the rhinos in the Republican, the establishment. We need a cleansing before we can go forward. We are overtaxed, we are overspending, and we're in trouble as a nation. So I'm going to bring that out.
Story.
Have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
As I said last week, I will accept the outcome of this case and will continue to respect the judicial process as Hunter considers an appeal. You know, the president said he won't touch it. He said he's not going to pardon his son. And it seems that Merrick Garland let it go through. How can the Justice Department be weaponized against Trump when all of that is happening?
The Democrats stand for the rule of law. Remember, law and order.
Just turn that on his end. She just asked a question. If the president, Joe Biden, is going to allow his son to be justly prosecuted, shows that he has no wherewithal to go after Donald Trump. Flip that. He now changed his opinion. He lied to us knowingly. I mean, you can just see it. Those that wanted to see it, and those that didn't lift him up to a higher standard that they knew he couldn't. he couldn't hold. But for the election's sake, they said all this. That's another thing that it play in. Before the election, of course he's going to say no. And then he'll do what he want to do. But the lying part comes from the CNN, MSNBCs, and Face the Nation group.
And we've been saying that Trump's not above the law, Hunter Biden's not above the law, no one is above the law. And it is amazing to see the stark contrast between how Democrats handled today and how Republicans handled this whole thing over the last couple of weeks.
For years, these conservatives have been crowing about a politicized Justice Department, Biden politicizing it, and so on. What happened today? The Justice Department convicted the president's own son, his only living son. You heard the president say he would accept the outcome of the case. I know no other word for that, but presidential.
He even went so far as to say he wouldn't pardon his son. That's how much.
Now, what are y'all saying? Are you standing by what you said? Now, what are you saying?
Respect he has for the system.
The president has said that he will not pardon his son. What did you think of that?
I thought it was extraordinary. I mean, it was a moment of just moral clarity on the part of Joe Biden, and it couldn't have been in starker contrast to the way Donald Trump has handled his own conviction.
He could still pardon him. He said he won't do that. All of that conduct, given that it's his son, is kind of, we should pause for a moment and think about how unbelievable that is. In a million years, if the shoe were on the other foot, and Donald Trump was facing the prospect of his son being prosecuted by...
But he's not. Look at the different sons and what they are doing and what they have done. And look at the money brought in by this son. The son, by being pardoned, covers the father for taking the 10% as the big guy.
A Biden, me, if I had been held over, a Biden holdover or Obama holdover prosecutor, not in a million years would that have happened. So, some of the people on the right, the people who support Donald Trump, are trying to cast this as some clever ops program.
Yeah. It is.
Hunter Biden was found guilty by a jury of his peers, just like Donald Trump, because this is our justice system at work. The divide here is stunning, and it's a great reminder that one political party remains committed to the rule of law and the other doesn't.
Joe Biden has already proven he's willing to stand up for the rule of law in a way that we could all never imagine Donald Trump to do.
Pretty emphatic over the last few days.
Pretty
that he
emphatic.
does not plan to pardon or commute his son. What that really is him saying is, I don't plan to use the powers of the office, the powers of the presidency, to provide private relief for my family.
But
in a sense, he's staking out a pretty bright line between being, as he says, a president and a dad. And that's not just an emotional expression.
Right.
He's in effect saying, I don't think that I don't have a right, even if it's legal, and God knows it must be tempting to use this power in a way that is not available to so many other Americans
he's above
facing
that.
Similar kinds of struggles. There's a kind of old school sort of flinty core to his conception of how you are to be in the system, how you are to be as a person, a moral person, and ultimately how to contend with questions of power. One of the things that anybody who spends time around Joe Biden comes to know is that he's had this long-running focus on how much he is bothered by abuses of power.
Will accept the verdict no matter what it is, and that he has ruled out
partisan hacks lying through their teeth. Thank God Kamala failed at continuing the dynasty of lies.
Pardoning his own son. Contrast that from what we hear from Donald Trump. And again, we have to underline, in no uncertain terms, President Biden saying, I will accept the outcome. I will
no
accept
uncertain
what the
terms.
jury decides here. That's the way our legal system works. And no, I will not pardon my own son if he is convicted.
And the contrast is so clear in terms of decency and principle, and transactional guidance in terms of how you view the world.
It is still a good day for the United States that this conviction is a prime example of the way our judicial system is supposed to work.
No one's above the law.
Even President Biden saying in a statement that he would respect the outcome of this case. Those words so completely contrast with what his opponent, now a convicted felon himself, continues to say about the U.S. courts.
The contrast to how Trump has behaved, how Trump has treated the rule of law, this was a good day for the system. Good day. For sort of America as an example of how the rule of law should work.
President Biden told David Muir that he would absolutely accept the verdict, whatever it was, and that he would not pardon his son,
regardless. So it happened. Was it all a lie? Have you come to terms with it yet?
Regardless. And today he said the same thing in a statement. Meanwhile, Donald Trump comes out and calls the justice system completely unfair. What do you think of that contrast?
There's the contrast of two different men.
Here is Joe Biden, who has lost a son who served honorably in the armed forces, who now has basically said, I will sacrifice my surviving son's future. I will allow him to serve a prison term if that's what's determined, because that is what the rule of law demands.
The president announces that he will not pardon his son. Do you think ordinary Americans give enough thought to how this system is a miracle, a gift to this country?
Okay, so if you are still watching this video, I do appreciate it. Right now, the media is in a total disarray because all of these clips are starting to resurface. How much these media members were willing to stick their neck out for Joe Biden when all of a sudden it almost seems like Joe Biden has turned on the media and really has turned on the American people. Now, without a doubt, I think most people actually agree, look, your dad most likely is going to pardon you if he had the...
Yeah, but the thing is, we could see that it was a lie, and we could see that it was coming, and we see that it was political, and we see that it was before the election, and they say, he's a politician, they say anything to get a vote. So I'm glad he brought these clips together so that we can look at it and see what they said, the smugness and the virtue signaling that they all do is pathetic.
Opportunity, but the issue people have is for how long has Joe Biden either been lying?
All right, so I'm gonna stop it there. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, I think it's a supply guy. Yeah, the supply dude. Excuse me. His channel, subscribe to his channel. Let me know. Do you like my responses? Do you want something else done? Talk to me. Let me know. And see you in the comments.